Great, I like this.
Oh,
Look
here
at
they
this.
come. Now we can start the celebration. Hi, you guys.
What did I say here? Happy Kwanzaa? Hey, works for me.
Happy Kwanzaa, honey. How you too?
Everyone here. Hi, Councilman.
Oh, not yet, but keep the thought. We will.
Where is Leslie Lou?
She's asleep in the nap room. I'll collect her when Cora comes.
Oh, dude, we need her.
Welcome. Make yourselves at home.
Evening, everyone.
Oh, good evening, Edward. I'm happy to see you.
We were pleased to be included, and Lila sent her regrets, but she doesn't feel very well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope she feels better.
Thank you. I'll tell her.
Oh,
Evening, Justice.
Edward, welcome.
Thank you.
make yourself comfortable.
Spencer.
Quartermain.
How are you, young lady?
I'm fine, thank you.
Where's your great slobbering beast?
Well, he had to stay home and work. Yes, Foster's on watchdog duty tonight.
Friends, may I have your attention, please? We would like to welcome you to the Bradley Ward House annual Kwanzaa feast. Now, some of our guests have not had the opportunity to share this experience with us, so I'd like to take this opportunity to remind us all what it's about. Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday. In Swahili, the word literally means first fruits. So in the broadest sense, this is a harvest celebration. It originated almost 30 years ago by Dr. Maulana Karenga for African Americans to celebrate the fruits of their labors and 7 principles by which to build a happy, productive life. Now, it's also an opportunity for us to give thanks for friends and family and the hope and promise of life. The feast is celebrated over 7 days, beginning the 26th of December, with each day dedicated to one of the principles which my grandmother will explain to you.
Tell you all about it.
Now, tonight, what we're doing is we're combining several elements into one big, huge Kwanzaa celebration and feast, and we're ecstatic that you're all here to join us. Now, one important thing. A lot of people might say that Kwanzaa is strictly an African-American event. Well, May Ward believes that it's an opportunity for African Americans to share a bit of our heritage, but it's also, and more importantly, a celebration of community.
Absolutely.
So, in that spirit,
This, everybody, this is a makeka. It's a simple straw mat, but it is the foundation. It represents our history and our culture. This is the kanara. Each of the candles it holds represents one of the principles we will celebrate tonight. Unity. Unity in our family, in our community, in our race, in our nation, in the world, so there will be no more war, no more poverty, no more hunger. Self-determination. To define ourselves, to name ourselves, to create for ourselves, and to speak for ourselves.
No problem about that around here.
not in this house.
You can say that again.
Collective work and responsibility. To build and maintain our community together and to make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems so that we may work together to solve them. Cooperative economics. To build and support our own businesses, our own stores and shops, and that we may profit from them together. Purpose. To restore our people to their traditional greatness and in the simplest way, choose what we want to do and not become distracted. Creativity. To leave our community and this earth more beautiful and more beneficial than we inherited it. And faith. To believe in our people and in our parents and our teachers and our leaders and the righteousness of our struggle. The Bunze, which represents the children, one for each of the children who live at the Bradley Ward House. It's for Barry and Mika, for Charlie and Juana, for Theo, for Ramsey, and oh, Deandra, Dexter, and Yvonne. Now, for Tom Hardy Jr., for Lucky Spencer, and for Leslie Lou Spencer.
What did you say, sweetheart?
Mine's the biggest.
Oh. Well, how did we do that? In a little while, there will be food on the table. But our minds need food and our hearts need nourishment. And as a sign of the food of the soul, I lay upon our table the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Holy Quran. The Kwanza table is set. And now we will have Keisha tell us a story.
Oh, beautiful. All right, little bit.
Well, we celebrated Kwanzaa at home in Philadelphia, and my brothers and I took turns each year telling what my father called a story of remembrance, the story of an ancestor or a hero or an ordinary person. Although my grandmother has taught me that there is no such thing as an ordinary person, whose life was lived by the 7 principles. And my favorite story was about Clara Brown, who was born in Virginia in 1803. When she was 3 years old, she was sold with her mother to a slave owner who traveled west. She was sold again and separated from her mother. She was sold again, and she took a husband whom she loved dearly and with whom she had 2 daughters and a son. When her children were barely grown, she saw each of them and her husband sold at auction, separated from one another, from her, by 4 different owners, and she was sold to a 5th. But finally, from that man, she was able to purchase her freedom. In 1859, she made her way to St. Louis, where she persuaded a party of gold prospectors to hire her as a cook. And 3 years later, when she was 59 years old, she found herself in the back seat of a covered wagon on a train making its way to Denver. In West Denver, she helped 2 Methodist ministers found the Union Sunday School. And then with their encouragement, she made her way to Central City, Colorado, determined to make enough money to find her family and to purchase them from slavery. All alone, she opened a laundry, 50 cents for a red flannel shirt, and she worked as a nurse, and she organized the first Sunday school. She never, ever refused help of any kind to anyone in need. But even so, by 1866, she'd saved $10,000, including investments in mining claims. The Civil War was over, and she searched desperately for her family. She couldn't find them. But she did locate 34 other relatives, whom she brought to Denver by steamboat and wagon, and that was the first of many black wagon trains, sponsored by Clara Brown. She never stopped searching for her husband and children. 2 months before she died, she was reunited with her daughter. Oh, the Colorado Pioneers Association buried her with honors. A bronze plaque in the St. James Methodist Church tells how she opened her home for worship before the church was even built. A chair in the Opera House is named in her honor. And right now, all over this country, are thousands of people whose ancestors' lives were touched and made better by Clara Brown.
Now there was an entrepreneur.
Collective work and responsibility, Edward.
Cooperative economics.
Yeah.
Faith and purpose.
Right. Self-determination.
Yeah.
And unity.
Yeah.
Told this story, Val.
She taught it to me.